Hello, welcome to episode 2 of the Nose Bros. For those of you who watched episode 1, and I say that knowing only one person actually watched it, and I'm still about 80% certain that one person is me. Thank you. A little self-congratulatory, but the first video I did was a review of cologne. It was Givenchy, let's see, Gentleman Privé, something. It was a very good cologne, very pleasant, very nutmeggy smell, very nutty. It was very nice. So it stands to reason with a name like the Nose Bros, this channel would be doing another video on colognes. But, wrong. The Nose Bros is spelled Knows. If it were spelled Nose, reviewing colognes would be very, very, appropriate, and a little bit too on the nose, which is a pun that I didn't feel good about making, but I did anyway because why pass up a pun? So today I was going to review boots, actually. I love boots. I'm a big boot guy, which is weird. I'm not a fan of pants, and typically you need to wear pants with boots, and if not, you just look like a lunatic, or the crocodile hunter, which is a reference that a lot of you won't understand because he's been dead for a while. But I like boots. So I was originally going to do my video on these. These are the new Wolverine 1000 Mile in the Horween Luxe Leather Arabica colorway. But I'm not doing it on them, even though I have them out here, because as I was getting set to do it and doing my little research on where the leather was from and all those things, I bumped into a different pair of boots that I was interested in getting. Now, like I said, I have a lot of boots. I don't know, I sound like a bragger when I say this. 26 pairs, 28 pairs of boots. That's a lot. I have 2 feet, 28 pairs of boots. It's excessive. But you know what? I now have 29 because I don't know if you're familiar with Thursday Boots. Thursday Boots is a newer company. They've been around about 6 or 7 years. They're an internet-only company, so I believe they have a store in New York City, but they claim to cut out the middleman, and they sell directly to consumers over the internet. And I had a couple pairs of theirs, the Captains, which are nice boots. I'm a fan. They're Goodyear welted, solid leather. The quick rundown is they're Goodyear welted, 360 degrees, and I'll explain that. And their leather's from the Lafarque Tannery in Leon, Mexico. The boots are made in Leon, Mexico. And I'm pretty sure it's the Lafarque Tannery. I'm also pretty sure that I might just like saying Lafarque and giggling like a 6-year-old because it sounds like I made a joke about flatulence. And in my heart, I'm a child. So anyway, I was going to do the review on those boots. And then I saw a little thing saying something new coming your way, and I looked, and they had released the Titan boot, which I saw the first pair was in black, and I was like, it looked very Timberlandy. It was like kind of a nubuck suede leather type. But then I saw these. Now, before we get all critical and say how ugly this is, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I like this, but I'm not a huge over-the-top fan. I like a gum sole, but in this particular case, I'll explain what my concern is with it. But the leather. Now, see, I don't know if you can tell the texture in the leather there. This is a rough-out leather, I'm pretty sure, that has been heavily waxed. And the interior feels like it's leather-lined, but that's actually the outside part of leather. It's just kind of flipped inside. This, once the wax wears off, I have other boots like this that the same thing happens. It develops a really nice patina. Side note, for about 2 years, I was constantly confusing the words patina and panini, and which I would say I'd like a patina at restaurants. I would like the patina, and they would stare at me like they had just met the dumbest person in the world. They would decipher my idiocy, write down panini, then go back and tell everyone in the back room, there's a guy out there who ordered a patina sandwich. And then I'd see people poke their heads out and point at me like I was a dummy. And guess I was. It wasn't like I didn't know the difference between patina and panini. It's just my old person brain just molded them together when I'm under the pressure situation of having to make a decision about food. Anyway, back to this. These boots are definitely made for walking. They're very comfortable right out of the box. Now, the thing I like about Thursday boots is it's a very inexpensive entryway to Goodyear welted boots. $199, which is I think what I paid for these, $199 for a Goodyear welted boot with a very nice leather upper, a nice, this looks like a Vibram sole, but it's not. It's a Thursday, their own little proprietary one. A 360 degree Goodyear welt so I can re-sole these. If you don't know what a 360 degree Goodyear welt is, this here, there's a little strip of leather, and basically you sew the welt to the upper and the sole. If the sole wears out, you just take it off and replace it with the sole of your choosing, which I will eventually do. It allows you to get more years out of your boots. So let's say I paid $199 for these, but they last me 10 years. It's $19 a year, $20 a year. That's pretty good. We'll go through a few resoles and we'll be fine. Now, one thing people don't like sometimes about a 360 degree Goodyear welt is when you look at the profile of the boot, it sticks out in the back here, and that is a necessity of the 360 degree Goodyear welt because it needs something to attach to. That's why, like the Wolverines go with a 270 degree Goodyear welt, so that, I'll show you. So the back, see the difference? The back is more streamlined and more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Or not, depends on what you're, if you like, I think this is the same sort of boot that would, like, if you're never mind. I was going to say, if you're a guy who likes big butts, this might appeal to you. But also, that sounded sexist and stupid, and I'll probably edit it out if I figure out how. But these boots, very comfortable out of the box. They come with a pour-on insole, which it's synthetic, and so it's more sneaker-like, and you're gonna feel it right off the bat. It's a comfortable boot. If you've ever tried to break in a Iron Ranger, Red Wing Iron Ranger, it's hell on your feet, but it's leather and then cork. This is pour-on and then cork. The cork will mold to your feet. The pour-on will eventually collapse because it's man-made, and you'll want to replace it. But and you can replace it. You just, when you resole everything, you just go with something new there. But the benefit to these boots, aside from the resoling and the Goodyear welt, is they're water resistant up to about here because there's no gusseted tongue, so it's wide open here, so you can get in behind the tongue. So, very comfortable boot right out of the box. It's going to patina very nicely, I can tell, because I've experienced this sort of leather and wax before. $199, great price. Oh my God, I've been talking for 8 minutes. That's a long time. Let me think. Yeah, so I'm not sponsored by Thursday, clearly. I have like one view. But if you're looking for a good entry-level boot, this comes in other colors. If you don't like that kind of weird sole, which I actually am kind of on. But they have a kind of a chocolate suede or dark suede and a black, and they both look pretty nice. But for $199, a boot that you can keep for 20 years, it's a pretty good deal. So anyway, that's my half-assed review on boots. Maybe later on I'll review something else like nuclear power or, I don't know, something. Democracy. We'll see what happens. Thank you very much for your time.